Now bored?
Man, I gotta tell you, you think the drama in the toy world is wild? Let's talk about what's going on in Star Wars and in Marvel. Hello, ladies and germs. I've been wanting to get to this video for a while, but every time I start to, something else happens. It's freaking wild. And where to begin in all this chaos? Well, The Acolyte. It got canceled, and peace and love were felt across the land. Except for some people who insisted the only reason that a show with bad writing, bad acting, poor characters, and pretty much reenacting the accusation Ashley Judd made to Harvey Weinstein as the motivation for turning the main character to the dark side was only canceled because a bunch of YouTubers are racist and misogynist.
You are made of stupid.
Before I go any further, I do want to point out, if that was the case, why is it that so many people love Rogue One? Female lead, diverse cast, just a good freaking movie. Andor had an openly lesbian couple. It was handled very well. Their relationship was being hurt by the war, by the rebellion. And they were having a hard time dealing with real couple issues that you would deal with in wartime. People love Andor. Critically, that one got some of the best reviews of any of the Disney Star Wars series. This is weird to me that you're saying this in light of those two facts. But okay. Now, when you start digging a little bit into this, okay, these accusations, at first it's like, people are crybabies. Okay, whatever, you know. And, I mean, we didn't act this way when Firefly got canceled. I mean, we were mad. We were very mad. But we didn't start crybabying like this.
Did you get many spankings as a kid?
As a kid, no.
So, at first it was easy to ignore. It was just like, oh, look how silly people are. And then, as it goes on, suddenly, this Twitter account that has been inactive for 2 years, called Rewriting Ripley, posts this manifesto, and a lot of content creators, and I will get into the type of content creators, start reposting it. One in particular is Molly Damon from Star Wars Explained. If you don't know Molly, she's famous for the quote, "You say you don't like the writing? No, it's that you hate lesbians." That was her.
Oh, I hate it because the writing's bad. No, you hate it because there's a lesbian.
The redhead, yeah. If I can find the clip, I will put it back up. But anyway, Molly, from what I can tell, and she has her Twitter blocked now for everybody. It's not for public consumption, which is not a good look. So, there's that. But, beyond that fact, she seems very politically charged. Now, as I went looking into this Rewriting Ripley pod, it's a podcast that seemed to disappear about 2021. And I didn't really get to listen to any of it because I was kind of like not interested. But this person has apparently wrote a bunch of articles too in around 2022. And then this Twitter account died in 2022. It just didn't do anything. There was one little article, and then it was that was it. And that article was pretty much saying the same thing this manifesto is. So this manifesto pops up. Boom. Names several YouTube channels. Now let me talk about the channels in particular. Okay. Nerdrotic. Not my cup of tea. I'm going to be very straightforward about that. One of the things Nerdrotic does is he uses a lot of the buzzwords that are politically charged. And after a while with me, you're going to lose my interest because it feels too politically charged. That's not saying the guy doesn't have points. I watched his Acolyte coverage. He really actually hit some good points on the Acolyte coverage. The other one, RK Outpost. I'm going to be honest, I don't know that one very well. I had, never really heard of RK Outposts. Apparently I've seen him on a couple of streams and didn't know who he was. Didn't see anything weird or crazy or racist or misogynist about him in those streams. He just popped up as a guest. Anyway. Geeks and Gamers, I do know. I've seen a few of their videos. I don't dislike them. They're not my favorite, but I don't dislike them. Okay, and then further on down, it mentions, and let me see, I want to get this absolutely right, so let me pull this up and read it, because it was really weird how they just threw this name in there. And I want to read it exactly. So, the hate campaign against Amanda, I'll touch on that in just a second, has been so profitable that other major YouTubers have joined the attacks on Amanda, including Star Wars Theory. 3.3 million subscribers. Star Wars Theory reacted to her video that she posted publicly on social media, in which I know there's one point she's sitting there looking up at the sky, thinking about, am I getting all the buzzwords right? And it really felt like, almost like, I don't want to do this, but I'm going to do it because, this will give me points for my next project. So, okay, yeah. How many more good faith content creators will turn to profitable hate campaigns if this behavior is permitted to continue with no repercussions? Now, a lot of people have taken this to say, well, they said Star Wars Theory was a good faith content creator. No, they actually said that he joined the hate campaign against Amanda, which was not a hate campaign. It was Amanda started spouting her freaking mouth and telling the fans they were racist because they didn't like her show. And people went, you're full of shit. Okay, so there's some specifics that are made. These channels have asserted that Amanda is vapid and narcissistic. Honestly, that one, I'm sorry. I watched that video she did. She seems to be very vapid and narcissistic. I have to say it. Maybe it's the way she's coming across, but yeah, I have to agree with that. And there's nothing racist about that. The adult pretender. Okay, opinion. Dumb. Okay. This one, yeah, half black bitch. Okay. Yeah, that's not a good thing to say. I wouldn't necessarily call it the same thing as what they're trying to say it is, though. Yeah, I'm not defending it in any way, shape, or form. I'm just saying, she raised a lot of ire with that stupid diss track, and she deserves some pushback from the fans. It was going to happen. But yeah, I do admit that one's not a good thing to say. But does it deserve deplatforming for or demonetizing? No. Maybe a slap on the wrist. Maybe that video gets demonetized. That's fair. But they also say for defending herself against racism. That ain't what happened, dude.
Not this time. No, not this time. It's totally made up.
Seriously, that's not what was going on. She was basically accusing the fans of being racist for not watching her show. That was terrible. These channels have gaslit Amanda, claiming she's playing the victim card. Well, she was.
Help! Help! I'm being repressed!
I mean, she really was playing the victim card. It was like, she never once said what was being said, how it was being said, where she was seeing it, how it upset her, you know. I mean, she could have very easily produced something and said, look at this. And while some people may not have agreed with her, it would have at least been something substantive that we can talk about. We have nothing like that. And it's like, instead we have, you're racists. And, yeah. It comes across very much as playing the victim card. I mean, just call it like I see it, man. RK Outpost proclaiming you've never been oppressed in your goddamn life, you bitch. Heavy. That is heavy. But that's still opinion. And he has every right to express that after the diss track she made. These YouTubers use racial dog whistles, including angry black woman stereotype. You know, I don't even know what that means. That's really vague and can be used. I mean, you can just say that, and does it carry any weight? No, you got to give me something to work with. Now, here's a bunch of resources, and several of these, some people have actually gone through and found the videos, found what was said, and yeah, there's a lot of this that was taken out of context. There's one in particular, and I'm trying to see if I can find it. Okay, I can't find it right now, but you can look through it on your own. Basically said Geeks and Gamers was attacking Kelly Marie Tran. The actual quote is, and I'm going to paraphrase it, but you know, that Rose Tycho was the worst character ever, and I agree with that wholeheartedly. And that Kelly Marie Tran deserved no crap for playing that role, and in fact deserved better than that role, which is the exact opposite of what's being said. So, again, I'm calling it like I see it. So, all this crap, and this whole manifesto is calling for all these guys to be demonetized for having an opinion. I mean, basically that's what it is. It's having an opinion. Some of this stuff is taken out of context. Some of this is, you know, it's pretty scary to see something like this, because it's like, you don't like someone is saying something you don't agree with. Okay. I mean, you have yet to produce anything that says there's a coordinated attack against Amanda Stenberg. There's nothing here that says that. There's nothing here that says there was an attack on her. Her acting was, I wouldn't even say attacked, was criticized. Rightfully so. It was horrible. That show was awful. Now, again, as I dug through trying to find out who Rewriting Ripley is, strange name, the most substantive stuff I found was some articles from 2022. It almost says the exact same thing this manifesto says. And is the same way. It has like these tweets and doesn't have any credit to them, and it says this is what these guys are doing, but it's not them. It makes no sense. It's really weird. It's like guilt by association, I guess, is what they're trying to pull off, but it doesn't work because you blocked out on names. Anyway, Molly Damon says, I've spoken at length about all of this in the past, and the only way things get better is if Team YouTube does something to discourage this kind of content. Until then, it will only get worse. So she's endorsing this. Now, what's weird is there's a bunch of other content creators who retweeted this. Some of them took it down after they started seeing the backlash from it. Yeah, this did not go well. Not at all. A couple of days later, Star Wars Theory produced a bunch of emails and things about him and Alex and Molly, and at the end of it all, they were concerned about getting clicks, they were concerned about getting views, they were concerned about getting subs, and they were trying to basically, at some points they were trying to, you know, get Theory to tell them how he did it. Well, he told them, it's like, I just do what I like, and that's it. And, you know, they thought there was some magic thing to it or something. I don't know. Rewriting with Ripley suddenly becomes active after all this, does a video, and it's, God, it's stupid. It's intercut with things that have nothing. There's stuff from the all-female Ghostbusters controversy in there that's like has nothing to do with any of this crap. So it gets really mad at Team YouTube for thanks for reaching out. Just heard back and confirmed that this content is not violative and will remain up. We totally understand you may not agree with this decision. We reviewed the video and certainly we reviewed the video very carefully against our policies. They say it's fine. Rewriting Ripley, that name gets me. It's like, you're writing Ellen Ripley?
Get away from her, you bitch!
From Alien? Is that what that means? That's weird. I don't know. That's the first thing I think of, though. And that name has really caught me off guard. This is an admission that you have not reviewed our concerns. Thanks for reaching out. We heard back and confirmed this content is not violative. We reviewed this. Proven by saying this video when there are over 10 videos in question. However, thank you for confirming your inability to take safety seriously. Safety?
One will please panic.
Oh, you gotta start producing a whole lot more evidence when if you're talking safety, because I didn't see anything about safety there. You and your advertisers will be hearing more from us soon. Well, you're about due for a 2-year gap in your tweets, so I doubt we will. Anyway, additionally, I would like to point out to Team YouTube that nobody in the Star Wars fandom has requested select videos be removed, simply that a handful of YouTube channels be demonetized. Why? Because you don't like what they say? The lack of clarity in your response to address real concerns is appalling. It's appalling that you ask for them to be demonetized. I mean, what do you think you are? And it's appalling that somebody associated with a rival channel would be okay with that. Now, as I said, July 28th, 2022, almost 2 years ago, calling out hate in fandom isn't enough. We must deplatform it. Yeah, this is a lot more of the same stuff. I mean, this is an article I found and I'm like going, really? You've been at this for 2 years and you think it's going to work now? And, you know, and again, very politically charged. Here's one of the earliest of the podcasts I found, 2021. I mean, this is someone who has an obsession. You know, it's kind of disturbing. And then previously, September 22nd, 2022. Will not surprise any in the fandom. Another data point. Yes, the same YouTubers who incited harassments against Kelly Marie Tran, Moses Ingram, are now connected with harassments against Rings of Power. And this is the thing that I'm noticing, the trend here, is this is all about politics. This has nothing to do with media. This is talking politics.
Your politics bore me.
And they're blaming all these YouTubers when this Acolyte show went from having a record-breaking opening to the lowest rated Star Wars program on Disney+. That's a lot of people leaving the show. And you got to think, how bad was it that many people left the show? As Star Wars Theory has stated. Oh, and I didn't talk about Star Wars Theory. I do watch Star Wars Theory from time to time. I don't watch everything, but I do watch him from time to time. Seems like a good guy. Most of the time I enjoy his stuff. I've had, I will say, minor minor disagreements with a few statements he's made. And it's not enough to even mention. I mean, it's just like, the biggest one I can think of is he one time was talking about, and I think it was in relation to an interview with Kathleen Kennedy, about you have the moral obligation to continue the legacy that you were handed, or something like that. And I did kind of laugh at it, and I just went, sounds nice, but not true. It's, you know, what they have is the financial responsibility to make money. By holding on to the legacy they were handed, ensures they will make money. So, you know, it's a kind of a semantic argument, and they, you know, that's why I never mentioned it before. I am, you know, that's the only one I can really remember at this moment in time. So yeah, anyway, YouTube obviously struck this down as being like, you're full of shit, guys. And then it continues. Star Wars Theory came out with a bunch of stuff on his video, and he's had a couple of videos now. It's been pretty damaging to Star Wars Explained. The last time I checked was 9,000 subs in the Star Wars Explained lost. Woof, that's tough. But of course, so in typical fashion with drama, you think it's over, you think it's done, then Star Wars Theory starts getting copyright claims on his fan movies. Here's the funny thing about it. They were not monetized. They were never monetized. And then making it worse, whoever made the copyright claim monetized it. It's Disney. The timing is weird. It's been up for 6 years. And no, we're just going to start monetizing it. You know, we're going to copyright claim it and then monetize it. Make money off you. That's strange. That's so strange. The timing of it is weird. Because here's the thing. Star Wars Explains get nice little prizes from Star Wars and their related licensees. And I mean, this is not an unknown quantity. This is proven. I mean, they were photographed and filmed together with the likes of Kyle Katarn, Eric Voss, and a few others. All of which gave very favorable reviews to The Acolyte. They were there with Leslie Headland and Dave Filoni, and were given gift baskets and stuff. But no, they haven't got a bias, right? Now, I ask you, if they had given an opinion about The Acolyte that wasn't great, do you think they would have got those baskets? You can go on the Star Wars Explained YouTube channel. Go ahead and try to track down one bad thing they say. If they do say a bad thing, it's so minor, it's brushed under the rug after they say it. And herein lies the problem. They're getting gifts all the time. And they're giving favorable reviews and impressions on everything, no matter how bad it is. In the meantime, Star Wars Theory is called a grifter. And yes, he was called a grifter by that same dude who loves the term right-wing grifter, right-wing grifter, right-wing grifter, right-wing grifter. I think I showed in a video he said it 15 times. And the whole time, he's doing a lot of mental gymnastics, trying to say Theory doesn't know what he's talking about. And by the way, Theory lays out everything pretty clearly. And it doesn't take a rocket scientist to follow it. The dude is obviously, you know, grifting. Because then after he does that, he starts gushing over Super Chat. After he tries to put down Theory, he gushes over Super Chats. These guys are collecting material things for their opinions. That being Star Wars Explained. So, who's grifting here? I think sacrificing your integrity to get stuff is a grift. It is lying, and you're getting some out of it. To have a YouTube channel and to give your opinion and to get monetarily reimbursed for people watching that because YouTube is making money off you. That's not grifting. You need to look up the definition of grifting before you start spouting it all over the place, because that ain't grifting, dude.
So don't be a dick.
Alright, but now why I've gone through all this, I need to give context of what's happening in all this shit. Because when you see all this and see that this is endorsed by Lucasfilm, because the official Lucasfilm Star Wars Twitter account says the necessities, which is a little bit sensitive to me as a guy who went through a catastrophic natural disaster not more than 2 years ago and was without water, food, or electricity for several days. And I'm like going, really, you're going to call that the necessities? I don't usually trip up on a joke, but, you know, it's just been 2 years ago, and you hear something like that, and you're like, you son of a bitch. You just automatically react, you son of a bitch. Fuck you. Fuck you and the horse you rode in on, man. Now, in these grifters, you notice they never mention Snarky J's cosplay. It was a woman. She's not white. Does she get shit for her opinions? Oh, yes. I invite you to go watch some of her reading mean comments, especially the Acolyte ones. Wow. It's funny how sexist comments are not acceptable until somebody says they don't like your show. I mean, you know, she doesn't call it out as sexist. I'll call it out as sexist because, man, it is bad. It is horribly bad. And she takes it with stride and laughs about it and makes fun of the grammar, of course. And she's very funny about it. And she has done one of the best letter to Kathleen Kennedy videos. I will link all this down below. It's really good stuff. She's a really great YouTuber. Really good. I highly recommend. Tyrone Magnus, who aligns with Star Wars theory a lot from what I've seen, and even has admitted that. He's never mentioned in this. I think that's funny. Tyrone is obviously not white. Could that be it? You see, and that's the thing. You got people who are not white, who are not male, saying these things, but they're not added into these manifestos, as they were. Are you going to call for them to be demonetized? I wonder. I doubt it very seriously. I don't think you got the guts. I really don't. I don't think you guys got the guts to do it. But, in the midst of all this, let's step back a minute. So all this is being blamed on sexist and racist people. Let me say people. Because here's the weird part of all the Disney drama going on right now. Beau DeMayo. Remember X-Men 97? X-Men 97 had a lot of the same problems that the Acolyte did. Gay, black, showrunner. Okay, Leslie Henlon's not black, but she's gay. Was doing a non-binary thing with Morph that was not going over well with the fans. Did, you know, had a very somewhat clumsy pronoun moment. Kind of gets overlooked, but it happened. But what's the scores look like? There's not much difference on the Rotten Tomato score for the audience as well as the critics. Why? Fucking X-Men 97 was good. It was damn good. I mean, there's some minor complaints about it, but you know what? It's damn good. But Beau DeMayo got fired. Why? Well, Disney's trying to say it's because of inappropriate behavior. Beau says, no. They, from the top. Now, granted, this is what it said on his OnlyFans, so you gotta take that into account. He says that's the only place I feel safe. Okay. He said he didn't feel safe in Disney as a gay black man. So maybe, just maybe, Molly Damon and rewriting Ripley are right. It was sexist, misogynistic, racist people who canceled the Acolyte. They're at the top of Disney. Maybe you need to go get them. Just saying. Was it kind of a joke? Yeah. Did it take a while to get there? Yeah. But I'm laughing. And that's the point. You should be laughing too. Thanks, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. I had kind of a fun time making it and getting it to that point. You guys take care. Have a good day. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because God knows I need it.